AITA for what I said after my husband commented on my flat chest? My husband Jared and I have been married for 3 years. He's currently out of work. Used to work at a high-paying job but got kicked out the company over a fight with a coworker. And I'm the one paying for rent and utilities. We dedicate some time to see his family weekly. They don't know he's unemployed because he thought they'll see him as a failure, especially his mom. So he told me to keep it a secret. Last night we were sitting eating dinner at the table. His cousin was talking about his fiancée going to Brazil to do a boob job. Jared asked if he was serious then, flattered FSIL's boobs, saying they're perfect and that he didn't understand why she'd get a boob job. He then turned to me, stared at my chest while I was eating like an idiot. I have a flat chest. I'm insecure about it but can't do anything about it obviously. And said, "Hey, why don't you get a boob job? You're the one who needs it the most." His mom gasped and was like, "Jared." I said, "It's fine." I then turned to him and said, "I'll get a boob job once you get an actual job since you've been unemployed for 6 months now. Quote. He stared at me in disbelief. His mom began questioning him about being unemployed and he denied, then admitted it was true. It got awkward with his mom scolding him and others shaming him for it and for hiding it. He got so overwhelmed he went outside and stayed inside the car till I came. He started yelling at me repeatedly, "You couldn't have held your effing tongue?" Quote. And accused me of turning his family against him and having them jug then shun him. Now he can't even step a foot in their house from shame and guilt. I argued that his comment about my chest was insulting. But he said he was giving me a piece of advice and that there is nothing wrong with him wanting me to look pretty and that he said what he said out of support and encouragement. But what I did was the complete opposite in that it was intended to hurt him and I succeeded. He dropped me off at home then went to stay with his buddies. I called him later thinking he calmed down but his friend said he didn't want to speak to me and I shouted give him space. ONTA. He seriously thinks he was just giving you advice by telling you to go get a boob job? You've been supporting his dead weight for 6 months because he's ashamed of being out of work and couldn't control his temper at work. Now he's embarrassing you in front of his family and trying to pressure you into plastic surgery so you'll look pretty. Let him stay with his friend. Someone else can support his insensitive, deadbeat ass for a while. So he got fired for an argument with a coworker and kept it a secret, insulted your body in front of his family, and then tried to spin it as a piece of advice given out of support and encouragement, yelled at you and asked why you couldn't have held your effing tongue? Quote. NTA. Seriously? This is not a man who's worth a damn. He wants you to keep his unemployment a secret. To protect his ego. Tears you down. Again. Likely to make himself feel better whilst you are covering everything. And when you don't stand for it, tried to frame his insult as advice, and takes off. Acting as the injured party. Change the locks. I mean it. It gets no better from here. NTA. NTA. Lol, poor little baby can't take what he dishes out? Also the fact that he thought what he was saying was out of support and encouragement, nauseated face. Run girl. Run. Let me get this straight. You have been keeping a roof over your heads. Paying for this man's life. Lying to protect his ego. And he sat there and insulted you over a known insecurity, not just to your face, but in front of his family? I am somehow not shocked he lost his last job over conflict with someone else. NTA. Divorce him and, if you want new boobs for yourself, buy them with the divorce settlement. But either way you definitely need a dick reduction procedure. You were just encouraging him to get a job. Smiley face. NTA. Girl. NTA. Call him back and tell his friends they can come pick up his stuff. He's not paying for rent anyway. You're perfect the way you are and instead need someone that sees you for you. NTA. He's a loser without a job who gets off insulting his supportive wife in front of his family. Good for you for giving it right back. Don't let him come back home. Serve him with divorce papers. NTA. If he doesn't like the way you look, why did he marry you? Even his mother was horrified he said that. You aren't entitled to help him, especially since he tore you down in front of others. Don't let him manipulate you into thinking it was support. He literally said another woman's breasts were perfect. LMAO, girl, pack your shit and get gone. Let him figure out how to pay his own bills. NTA. Why do you want to be with someone who 1. Would fight with someone at his workplace and lose his job? 2. Lie to his family about being unemployed? 3. Is ungrateful and oblivious to you literally caring for him and keeping a roof over his head? 4. Thinks you'll be more attractive with surgery? 5. Knows your insecurities and exposed them to his family without the slightest bit of regard for your feelings? 6. Angry at you for not keeping up with his lies? 7. Could make you feel like you're supposed to be okay with being insulted? 8. Can't properly discuss a problem he caused, so he runs away to his friends. 9. Makes you feel like you need to get justified on a website because he's gaslighted you into thinking you were wrong. NTA. This was a very short post, but the flags are waving, sis. NTA whatsoever. He fucked around and he found out. You should give him space. Permanent space. Away from you. NTA. The gall of this jobless prick. You say he got fired over a fight at his last job. I can definitely see how if he makes comments like that at work. NTA. There's so much wrong here. Fired over being a dick to a coworker and being unable to act professionally? Refusing to face the consequences and own up to it to his family? Asking you to lie to his family to cover for his bad behavior? Outright insulting you under the guise of advice, when he damn well knows that's way out of line? I'd genuinely reconsider this relationship. Bud. That's some absolute self-centered jackass behavior. NTA. Do you love this man? He said an incredibly hurtful thing to you under the guise of helpful advice. Can you ever imagine telling someone you love to have surgery to change their appearance so that they could be more attractive? Ignore the job diversion. Even if he is mad. It's the truth, and why should you lie for him? Think about whether this person makes you happy, respects you, and adds to your life in a positive way. I'm guessing not. NTA. He fucked around and found out. He could have held his effing tongue as well. And he wants you to look pretty. So he's saying you're unattractive because your secondary sex characteristics are smaller than he'd like? What an asshole. Please don't reproduce with this man. NTA. It's okay for him to insult and embarrass you in front of his family. But you're supposed to keep his secret? I don't think so. I wouldn't call him to apologize either. Let him stay at his friend's house until he's ready to crawl back and apologize to you. Until then, enjoy the peace and quiet. Nothing he said to you was encouraging or supportive. Get a divorce. NTA. He made a comment on something he knows you're insecure about. He acted like a child and then pushed the blame on you when you made an accurate point. He was asking you to lie to his family just to save face so they didn't put him down, and yet didn't mind putting you down in front of them all. He sounds like an arsehole and who just likes to make fun of people's insecurities and then say he was only trying to help or was only being honest. His opinion on that wasn't wanted or asked for, and should have kept it to himself. NTA. Give him all the space he needs. Permanently. NTA. Not even a little. Telling the truth shouldn't be frowned on. I could understanding keeping it under wraps for a few weeks until he maybe had an idea. But for months, especially when you see his family often, is ridiculous. That's not even touching on his comment, which was absolutely unnecessary, demeaning and disrespectful, especially in front of company. He needs to seriously pull his head out. He's being supported by a wonderful, supportive wife and he decides to take a swipe at something he knows you're insecure about? No, I don't think so. It might be time to sit down and think about his behavior, and if this is a one of thing are starting, is already a pattern. You don't need to be around someone who makes you feel like anything less than the queen you are. For keeping your house afloat.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.